WRSR, Owasso, Flint. The following program has been pre-recorded and is paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc. Welcome to Discover Flint Township, a program showcasing our local community. Flint Township is ready for your next move. And now, your host, Flint Township Economic Enhancement Director, Tracy Tucker.
You're listening to Discover Flint Township, brought to you by Flint Township Economic Development Authorities, HAP, Financial Plus Credit Union, Shea Automotive Group, and 103.9 The Fox. We're wide awake, and we hope you are too. This morning, we will be speaking with Nathan Adams from Financial Plus Credit Union, and we'll also shine our guaranteed rate business spotlight on the Glam Blue Boutique, if I can get the words out. Let's get started with Nathan. Nathan, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, and I want to remind everybody that May is Small Business Month, so we're going to be concentrating on some of those topics today and through the rest of the month. But today we're starting out with Nathan again from Financial Plus Credit Union. So let's tell our listeners what you do at Financial Plus, Nathan.
Okay, thanks, Tracy. And thank you for having me on. I am the Director of Business Services at Financial Plus. So I lead a team of 3 commercial loan officers or business lenders and support staff. And so we kind of serve our members with business loans and business deposits and advice.
Awesome.
And becoming, a trusted advisor for our business members.
Great. And I know you have a topic today for our small business listeners, something that every business should have. So why don't you go ahead and let us know what you're doing today?
Yeah, so I'm going to walk through how to create a business plan for small business owners. And so I equate it to almost going back to school, learning how to write a paper and creating an outline, and then filling in that outline with detail. And I think a business plan works similar. It's kind of a roadmap to succession for many business owners. So the first step is creating an executive summary, which is a high level who, what, where, how, and why. Things to include would be what makes your company a success. Include things like mission statement, your product and service, and basic information about the company's leadership and about skill sets.
Right. So you kind of tell the story of your business, right?
Correct.
Okay.
And then the second component is kind of a company description and providing detailed information about the company. Go into detail about problems that the business solves for its customers. Explain the competitive advantages that will make the business successful now and in the future. What is the company's value proposition? What is unique about the company in the marketplace? And kind of what's the secret sauce? What makes it special? So
that's kind of an overall view of what the company does and how they interact with their customers and other businesses and that type of thing, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. And then the third component is kind of a market analysis where you're kind of providing an understanding of what the industry outlook is in that field, the company's target market, industry trends, what markets you are targeting, and what do successful competitors do, and why does it work, and can you do it any better?
Yeah, and so when they're doing that market analysis, would they not only would talk about what's going on in their area, but in the areas where they're sending their product as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so then what would be the next step?
Would be to kind of outline the organization and management. How's the company structured? Who runs it? And how is it staffed? This can be done kind of utilizing an organizational chart to lay out, again, who's in charge and how the business functions.
Yeah.
And be a way to include a resume. And I'll outline the last component is the appendix that I'll kind of walk through, and providing a resume would be one of those.
Sure.
And then really, what kind of legal structure is your company? Is it a S Corp, C Corp, LLC? And then really, who have you talked to as far as an attorney or a CPA to provide you some guidance there as well?
Sure. So then, so now you've told them your story. You've told them what your business is. You've showed them market analysis. You've showed them from top to bottom what your organization is, who you interact with. So then what is the next one? Do you look at what you actually do? Is that what you do?
Yep. So the next step would be service or product line. And that's where you really are describing what you sell and the service that you offer or plan to offer, explaining kind of the benefits that you provide to your customers and what kind of differentiates yourself from your competitors.
Sure. Yeah, because that overall, that's the most important. One of the most important things is, what do I do? What does my company do? Right.
Yes.
So then, the next step, you're looking at, what would that be?
Yep, marketing and sales. So how do you attract and retain customers? Who's in charge of this function? Are you the chief salesperson as the owner?
Okay.
Describing your proposed marketing and sales strategy, and describe how an actual sale happens in your business.
Okay.
And how much of your selling will come from, online or social media channels or other kind of B2B channels.
Right. That makes sense. You want people to understand how you're getting the word out, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then what's the next step?
Yep. And that's funding the company or funding request. How's the company funded?
Okay.
How much money has been kind of put in by the owner? Is there enough capital in the company?
Okay.
And then regarding kind of a direct funding request, what are your funding needs for the future, and how are you going to spend that money once you have it? Are you buying equipment, paying salaries, covering kind of working capital or bills until you start collecting revenue? Or if you're growing, start collecting the funds.
So it'd be basically like an audit where it's showing where the funds are coming from, what's out in payables or what's out in collectibles and that type of thing, and putting that all together in a cohesive package to show people where you're at financially in the business, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then I'm sure there's a couple more things you need for this business plan, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So the second to the last would be financial projections. So you were talking about kind of that audit component, but the financial projections kind of look at what's going to happen in the future.
Okay.
So creating an income statement that looks at kind of worst case, best case, and most likely case scenarios where you can kind of show, this is what we're expecting for sales, this is our cost structure, and this is what we're expecting to make for a net profit.
Okay.
And then there are templates available and resources for business owners to do this, so they don't have to create the wheel.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't want to have to do that. And then, so you said that there were 9 steps, though. So we're at 8. So what's the last one?
So the last step is kind of considered the appendix, and that's where, again, I referenced including resumes for the business owner and its leadership team, identify any key partnerships with attorneys, CPAs, and business mentors, provide any kind of equipment list or other collateral that may be kind of germane to the funding request, and then really just kind of knowing the business owner's understanding and knowing their credit score and how that might positively or negatively impact the business plan.
Okay.
And then, as I kind of alluded, there are many resources out there for business owners to help them create a great business plan, that they don't have to go it alone. First and foremost, myself and our team at Financial Plus can really help and guide any of our prospective business owners through the process, and we do that on a daily basis. And then I'd like to highlight the SBA also provides tools and templates. And then there's an organization called SCORE, which is actually funded by the SBA, and it's a kind of an army of volunteers that are business mentors that a business owner can reach out to and get free of charge. So.
Yeah, and I would also mention that at Kettering in Flint, we have the Michigan Small Business Development Center, who will also help for free to do these. And what I want people to understand is that having a small and effective business plan is essential if you're looking at trying to get any grants or loans from the SBA. So you want to make sure you have this information handy, and it's a good idea even if you're not looking at a loan or a grant right now. Get the information together, so if that grant becomes available or a loan becomes available or you need a loan, that you have the information on hand. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yep. I totally agree, Tracy, and I think even if you're not looking for a grant or funding at this second, it at least allows you to plan for the future and kind of guide you through a strategic plan. So.
Yes, that's great. So, Nathan, where can our listeners get more information from you if they want to get more information on this?
Yep, they can reach me at, I'll give you my email address. It's nadams@myfpcu.com, or my phone number is 810-244-8401.
Great.
And then we also have a contact center number, which I do not have memorized, but it's on our website.
All right.
And folks can call in there and get in touch with our business department.
Yeah, and the website is myfpcu.com, right? Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so it's myfpcu.com. So myfinancialpluscreditunion.com. So that is great information, and I know if you're listening and this is something you need to do, please reach out and take advantage of the aid that Nathan can give you, or the Small Business Administration, or the Small Business Development Center. But if you need the help, it's out there and it's available for free. So we want you to take advantage of those things. I want to thank you for calling in today, Nathan. It was very interesting to hear what people can do to have an effective business plan. And so we're going to have Nathan back again. Well, are you coming back next month, or is it somebody else? Do you know?
I think somebody else is coming back next month.
All right. Well, we'll hear from you again, I'm sure.
Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for coming in,
you,
Nathan.
Tracy.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I want to remind our listeners that if you want to email us with questions or comments on the show, discoverflinttownship@gmail.com, or you can visit us on Facebook at Flint Township Events, FLINTTWPEVENTS. Our YouTube channel is Discover Flint Township. Our website is discoverflinttownship.com or flinttownship.org. And I want to thank our guests. I want to thank our sponsors, HAP, Shea Automotive Group, Financial Plus Credit Union, Guaranteed Rate, and 103.9 The Fox. And join us next week with Shea and the Coffee Beanery. And this is Tracy Tucker. Stay safe, stay healthy, shop local, buy local, and discover Flint Township.
This has been Discover Flint Township with Tracy Tucker. For more information, visit discoverflinttownship.com. Flint Township is ready for your next move. The preceding program was pre-recorded and was paid for by Discover Flint Township. The views expressed are those of Discover Flint Township and do not necessarily reflect the views of 103.9 The Fox or Krill Communications, Inc.